Today's workout will involve a lot of shoulders. So we're definitely going to get those warmed up before we start. Of course, pretty much all my workouts involve a little bit of everything, but a lot of shoulders today. So we're going to start with doing some warming up for the shoulder area with our foam roller. So I'm going to lay on my foam roller here and get my lats to the store side. So on this foam roller, I'm going to do a little rolling forwards and backwards. I'm going to get the tissue underneath my armpits, on the back of my shoulder, even by the pectoral upper chest area. Slowly back and forth. If it's too intense where I have it, I'll move a little up or I'll move a little down so that I can still breathe. And then a little front to back, up and down movement here. Along the back of the shoulder, a little bit on the armpit area, a little bit towards the pectoral area. Sometimes it's easier with the arm than right. And then next side. If you need more time, you can take it. Just follow your video. And on the side, rolling forwards and backwards. Notice my knees are bent. A little bit more support from my lower back. And a little up and down. I can spend some time back of my shoulder if that's where I need it. Right in the middle on that armpit area or the pectoral area on the chest. I'm going to come back to the first side and really get a little bit more in the pectoral and front of the shoulder area specifically. So I'm going to lay down on my belly. I'm going to turn this foam roller on a diagonal so I don't squish myself. And then I might support myself with my other hand, or maybe I'll put the towel under my head to lift my head up a little and start to move that arm back and forth. So I'm getting the front of the shoulder, I'm getting the upper chest area, but I'm also moving that shoulder through a range of motion, which we'll also do during our warm-up as well. We'll start doing our dynamic warm-up, but we're already starting to do that here. So if my shoulder feels stuck from my day of work, or maybe I slept on it, or maybe I'm having some issues, this will help get it unstuck. So it'll move better for you during the workout. And let's switch sides. So that underneath there. I could just stay upright if I wanted to, or for me, it's kind of nice to put my head down so I can take some deep breaths and relax. I'm not taking too much effort on the other parts of my body. I like to pick a handful of places to focus on before my workouts with my foam rolling, and then I go into my dynamic warm-up course after that. So I'm typically not going to do a full body myofascial release session before my workout. I could do it afterwards, but typically I don't do a whole session like an hour before. So we're going to go ahead and lay down now on that roller. And it's going to be raw line-ish area, middle back area. Elbows squeeze in, or you can put your hands across your shoulders, whichever's more comfortable for you. I like some support for my head and neck, so I can't put my hands on the side of my head or behind my head, but keep the elbows in, that's important. And then leaning over that roller and coming back up. Moving over, left, and coming back up. And then I might switch it up a little bit more, so a little this is the middle of my shoulder blades, and I continue leaning over, up, over, One more little notch. On my back below that. And then hold it back. Roll up and back. Left and right. And even do a little twisting side to side. So my roller is going to grab that tissue a little bit on my back and release more of that superficial tissue when I do that. And then I'm going to work my way down towards my lower back. Now, when you do your lower back, it's important that you keep a little bit of, tiny bit of flexion in the spine. So what you don't want to do is come to what we call extension. So that's the extending of the spine. We want to keep a little bit of flexion, a little bit of integrity of that core so that I don't hurt my lower back. So I like to do one side at a time. So I'm leaning a little on one side of my spine right now. It's not wrong to do it in the middle. You can also do it in the middle, but I just like to lean a little bit into one side to get my QL, quadratus lumborum, and down into where I connect into my hip bones down there. I'll bring up a little from my lumbar. Switch sides. Sorry, don't run away from me. So let's switch sides here. All right. And again, if you need more time to take it, we're going to go ahead and switch to our dynamic warm-up now. So we're going to start down here on the floor with some movements for the shoulder. So I like to put a towel underneath my forehead for these so that I don't have to hold my head out the mat and I'll smash my nose. So we're moving again, arms through a range of motion. Shoulders, no angel-ish. Arms do bend and I do squeeze my shoulder blades at the bottom. Eventually we'll do something that's more like a snow angel, full range of motion. But then squeeze the shoulders, reach up and out, squeeze the shoulder blades, and reach up and out. And then we'll switch next one. We start with the palms facing the ceiling, thumbs facing my body. And then I'll take a big circle. Again, this is more like snow angel, full range of motion all the way forward. And then just like within the shoulder joint, all the way back. So it's not just moving from my wrist or my elbow. We want the movement to come from the shoulder joint. Like keep those arms flipped upside down, sort of, until I get to that point where I need to move within the shoulder joint to keep moving. Now, some of you might not be able to do this full range. You just go where you go. So maybe you're like, oh, yeah, I'm stuck there. So you stop there. And maybe the next time you're able to go a little bit farther. One more time. Beautiful. All right. So let's come on to hands and knees. We're going to do a little more about for the spine. So thinking more of the middle back is where you're moving from. The chin, round the spine, so like a cat. And then lift from the center of the chest. Pull your heart forward. And again, think of moving from the thoracic spine, middle back. Your lower back will also move, but I don't want you to think of initiating the movement with the lower back. Tuck the chin, round the spine, press your hands, and then lead with the shoulders rolling back, chest moving forward as you switch back to your cow and pull the heart forward. Coming around. Lift chest, shoulders back, lengthen the heart forward. One more time, tapping around. And one more time, lead with the heart, move forward with the chest. And then let's find a neutral spine. So that's not cat or cow, but in the middle. So I've got a little bit of neutral spine in my back. So that's way back here, but not big dumping into that. A little bit of a neutral curve, belly is tight here, hands and knees, and then from here, pull that belly in super tight. Reach the right arm forward and the left leg back. Firing up the core here. So a lot of times we get that sloppiness and we start to dump in the low back. We don't let that happen. Reaching forward and reaching back at the same time. If it's too much to do both at the same time, just do one or the other. Maybe you do the leg only, or maybe you do the arm only. So do both, you do both. And then you'll bring the hand so it hovers an inch above the ground and the knee an inch above the ground. And then reach again. We go back and forth. Core so tight. Back super still. Sometimes I put a little tennis ball or something on the back here for people to, it's almost like a game. So you can see if you can stay so still that the ball doesn't fall. You can try it. Now let's switch sides. All right, core tight. Boom, pull it in. Opposite arm and leg, left arm, right leg. Check that slide. You can see yourself in the mirror or in your video. Make sure you're not coming into a big playback. The tummy in, go tight. And the knee hover. If the moving is too much, just hold it instead. And remember, again, if it's too much to do with both limbs, just do one, and then maybe you try the other. Maybe you're able to do both. Getting your tummy woken up, your deep down core muscles woken up. You may also feel your arm and your leg waking up. All right. Rest. Walk your hands way over one direction. We'll stretch for the side body and your lats. And then walk it back. We don't stay very long on these stretches. We're doing a dynamic warm-up. We don't do a bunch of isometric holding when we do our dynamic warm-up. All right, so let's come up. Let's start with some knee drives. We're going to come across the floor today. So if you have space, go across the floor. If not, then of course you just stay in place. Take the knee up and around now. Up and around. Or if you have space. Let's do a can-can kick or a Frankenstein kick. And some booty kickers. So, catch your foot, maybe not. And we're going to take some long stride walking lunges. These don't work, just do regular squats. So that'll be easy. So, big long stride. Press my heel back. Stretch. And then I switch. Heel back. And then I switch. I have a lot of space here, so I'm going to just turn around. Rest that heel back. Rest that heel back. Heel back. So I'm going to come back to my band here. I need to improve my warm-up. If you don't have a band to work with, you'll just do this range of motion for the shoulders without a band. But if you have a band, it can give you a little bit more. So I'm going to have almost no resistance on there. So that's a little flat. Maybe you can see that. And I'm going to take my arms up and slowly back down. So find that range that gives you a little stretch, but no pain, no pinching. Up. And down. Super slow. And if it's too much to do both at the same time, we can do one at a time. Again, if you have a band, you just do this with one with that band and one or both arms. We're going to turn around. So again, if you have a band, you can use it. Hinge forward and just rotate and rotate. If your band doesn't have a lot of resistance, you may need to double up, pull both handles, and then do one arm at a time. Of course, getting
rotate, or if it's furniture that's not going to move or something. Just waking up those legs. Rotate, rotate. All right. Very good. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first exercise. Our first exercise is a chest press. And we're going to add lunge to this if you'd like. So potentially you're stepping into it and lunging into it. If not, you just take a staggered stance without that. Now just a basic chest press, you're pressing out, the hands are at a 45-degree angle. They're not up here, I'm not internally rotating, pressing out. Go ahead and join me. So if you're doing a step out, you alternate your legs, press out, and then you together. So the arms don't slingshot back. These bands are really different animals. If you are not careful, you can hurt yourself. So there's an increasing amount of resistance as you move. So it's really easy to let your arms just kind of slingshot back if you're not paying attention. Check in. Rest. So we're going to go right into a fly now. Flies the palms together with your chest. So we're not lunging into this one unless you want to, but I won't stop you if you want to keep lunging. I like to take a parallel stance on these. Palms come together. Nice and slow and controlled. You have a band, of course. You would do all of this with dumbbells. So you'd be doing a chest press on the floor, or on your bench, or a wall. Keep going, guys. I'll show you that, and then, of course, flies. Just so you have a visual, keep going on those flies if you're going. But if you didn't have a band, your first one, you wouldn't get to lunge, but you could add some leg work by lifting up into a bridge. And then we do a fly, which we're all doing right now. You have about 5 more seconds. The flies palms together. Okay. Rest. So again, just to clarify, for the chest press, the palms are at that 45-degree angle. So the hand would look like this. Okay. For the fly, this way. Okay. And that's with the band or with your dumbbell. All right, so we are moving on. So speaking of dumbbells, we're going to pick those guys up. And we're going to do a walking lunge with weight now. So for these, remember during your warm-up, you go long stride, straight leg, and press back. We're not doing that now. We're actually doing a regular walking lunge, both knees bent. Top of the middle if you need to. Top of the middle if you need to. Go ahead and start. When you're not front heel, step. Maybe you need a little tippy-toe tap, maybe not. Just keep traveling. Short space, might only get 2 or 3, and then turn around and keep going. Or so you could double pull. There's more. Knees bend, taller your spine. All right, last one. Let's rest. So we are back to our band over here. We're going to do a one-sided core band exercise. So I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to start with some little baby short range of motion. Really an anti-rotation because you're not rotating your body. So the ones like this. But halfway through, we're going to turn it into a full range. So each time you're on the one side, you're doing 2 variations of the same exercise. So I'm going to start here, tummy tight, And teeny tiny range of motion. Very little movement of the hips. I'm moving maybe 2-3 inches. Now we'll switch that same range of motion all the way across. My hips do move. Come up onto the ball with that back foot. And rest. All right, so teeny tiny range of motion on side number 2. Here we go. Very little movement of the rest of my body. Very isolated. Right back to the big one. All the way around. All the way around. Wait. Up onto the ball with that foot. And if you don't feel okay in your body, if the little ones did, go back to the little ones. Rest. All right. After the first round of our first few exercises, we'll go ahead and grab a sip of water, and then we'll do them all again. All right, we are back to our first one, which was that lunge, plus that press out, so palms down, or really like at a 45-degree angle. So let's begin. And press. Option 2, double pull. So that press is kind of in the middle of that range of motion. And then we're going to switch flies. Now remember, you could be doing these on the floor with dumbbells if you did not have a band. Grab those knees, and here we go. Your ball, big stability ball. Your dumbbells on your stability ball. Bench, yeah, bench. Instead of fatiguing, I might alternate my arms so that one gets a rest. If I needed more, I could double pulse. 5 seconds. And rest. All right. We are back to our walking lunges. So again, you double pulse these if you need it a little more. So here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. That pulse at the bottom. You did not have enough space to do any walking lunges. You can do alternating front lunges. It's a little different, but still works similar muscle. Rest and go back to some core work with your band. So we're going to start with some circles this time. We'll do circles and then that big range of motion again. So we'll have like the face of the clock circles, and then we'll go into that big range of motion if your body is okay with that. So let's begin. Up and around, up and around, like the face of the clock. Make sure you are going up and around versus under and around. This time anyway. And sometimes it's on those. So I find it to be a little more challenging when you go up and around. But I like the challenge. All right, let's go. Big range of motion. So you're swinging it out. And if for some reason you have a lighter band and it's not enough, you just use two handles. Use both handles with your hands to give yourself what you need. And switch sides. Up and around like the face of a clock circles. And big one. All the way across. Swinging it back. Okay. Again, a quick sip of water if you need it. If not, we are back to our lunge. I'm going to go ahead and our lunge plus that chest press. Water. Get a lot of it. Sit down. All right. You're dehydrated. Your muscles will not fire properly for you. Make sure you're plenty hydrated. All right, so we have again that press out option to do that lunge. Let's begin. Rest. Maybe double pulse press. Go butterfly down, butterfly. These two exercises are working very similar muscles back to back, so don't be surprised if these are hard. You need a break, just take a break. Start again when you can. You can alternate your arms, let one arm get a little break. If you need it more, double pulse. Rest. All right. Walking lunges once again. Again, with we have it. Double pulse if you can. And then one other option you can take is to take a high step walking lunge. So knee drives up, step. Knee drives up, step. Up, step. A little bit more balance. Try some harder. Back to your band. You didn't have a band, you can't do these, but you could do something that was similar muscles. You could do side plank. You can do side plank with movement. That's another option. You don't get to just skip out on these. You'll get to work your core, even if you don't have a band. All right, this time, string a big house scoop or something, and then we'll shift it into that big range of motion again. So let's begin. So out and around. Turning over your shoulders. You're going too far out. We have too much resistance. Might All right, we have big range of motion. Swing that back. Option. Step into it. Option. Shuffle into it. Or just do your regular full range of motion, big movement, trunk rotation. That doesn't work. Stay with your other side. During the pot first. Okay, full range. Option to step and swing. Step and swing. Or shuffle. 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 Do any of that. Do the circle. Rest. Okay. Quick water again, and then we'll move on to another group of exercises. All right, so this next group of exercises, a lot of shoulders. As I've mentioned before, this workout doesn't involve a lot of shoulders. Even our chest work with a lot of shoulders too. But this is very, very isolated into the shoulder itself. So I would definitely use a little bit lighter weight. So 5s or 6s or 3s or maybe no weight for some of these exercises that we have coming up here. We are going to start on our band. If you have a band, if you don't, use dumbbells. It's a shoulder press. So when you're using the band, be careful. The arms are going to want to pull backward, which can be really tough on that shoulder. So make sure you're right in line with your ear or even just slightly forward when you're pressing up with these shoulder presses with the band. If you're using dumbbells, same thing. Don't let your arms fall backwards like this. They will either be straight by your ears or slightly forward, and the palms can be facing each other, or they can be facing forward, or maybe something in between. So let's go ahead and start again with the band. We'll try with the band, and I'll also show you what it looks like. Dumbbells again. So here we are with our band, and it is still at our middle setting. You can also go to low setting if you want to, but for most of us, this will work just fine. So we'll lean a little forward, and then when I'm going to alternate my arms, I feel like my neck and shoulders just like alternating better. You can do both at the same time, so it's a choice. So when you're doing this, again, you just put the arms and go holding back behind you a little bit further, but that's fine. That's when they go alternating arms, and they just tap each other. So this is the same as when we do it with dumbbells. You can do them where there's no rest and they keep alternating past each other, or you can go one of the shoulders while the other one goes. Last option, hardest option, one is up all the time, and then switch. Keep going with those. If you're using dumbbells, same options, alternating. Like that. Both be up and then alternate, and one stays up. Keep going with whichever you chose it. You have 10 seconds left. Different on the band. You'll notice there's a little bit of stability work that ends up having to happen more so than with the dumbbell. Again, most of the strengthen my arm down. That's fantastic work for the inside of that shoulder. Rest. But pay attention so you don't get hurt. All right, so we're going to move on and continue to work the shoulders. You're going to want lighter weights for these. We're doing quite a few reps of 2 different shoulder exercises. Rotation inside the shoulder joint. So your body, you need to alternate. So our first one is going to be hinge forward. We're doing back of the shoulder. So we start with our palms forward. We'll let chest level only. Let the palms so they face the ground. They go back to that start position and come down. Now this movement is from the inside of my shoulder, not my wrist. So I'm not just my wrist. The shoulder rotates. Not just from my elbow or my wrist, the whole shoulder rotates. This won't work for everybody. Some people, their shoulders, they know way okay. You may need to do rear delt swivel. If you haven't already, other option. Alternate your arms. More, double pulse lift, rotate, back down. Double pulse lift, rotate, keep going. Yeah. Alternate your arms. Let's rest. So kind of like when we did the flies and the chest presses, we're working with the same muscle back to back to back. It's a very effective way to get a lot of strength gaining in an area, but you got to pay attention. You might not be able to use as much weight. We're doing a V raise with rotation now. So upright, I'm going to lean with my arm. Flat, and then back to my hand. Same internal and external rotation we did bent over, but now we're upright. Yes, alternate. If your neck is like it, you can double pulse if you need it more. Even for me, thighs aren't usually a lot of weight for me, but I just get 3 shoulder exercises back to back. So I'm feeling it. I'm now isolating some of the smaller muscles inside the shoulder, just a section of my shoulder, front of the shoulder mostly on this one, and within the bent over mostly back of the shoulder. But it's a lot back to back to back. You don't feel bad if you need to use no weight. This is, I'm pretty close to half of what I normally use for this exercise. Like I said, I'm smart enough to not overdo it. I might go up a little bit on my next foot. I'm not going to get it. At least not today. All right, so we are moving on. So we're going to work the legs again. So we're going to take a side lunge. We have a variety of ways to do these. Our basic side lunge is like side to side, together. Like that, you would be out and go side to side like this. For some reason, that absolutely still did not work for you in any way, shape, or form. You could come onto your side and do some clamshells here, maybe with a band around your legs, or you could hold your leg or put a weight on top of your leg. Okay, so go ahead and start with some side lunges or your clamshells. I will let you know when you're cut twice. If you're doing a clamshell, you can flip it over. Allow me 2 dumbbells, maybe you do all side to side. Up, down, forward, right. Inner thigh working, butt working, core working. Core, I needed less, remember I could just keep this in place and not go side. Halfway, so if you wanted to roll over here, or you will. Do that. Now, and if you're going to need side lunges, add anything you like. Maybe a bicep curl. Double pulse. All right. So we are back to those shoulder presses with the band, or again, you can use your dumbbells. If you need water, grab water, and then join us when you're ready. A little hinge forward, lunge with one leg forward, and then again, maybe you alternate with one completely finishing before you start the other. Maybe the arms pass each other. You press them both up, and then one is up the whole time. Definitely harder. Pay attention. Think of the dumbbell, take an option. to fatigue, I just recommend you slow it down, rest for a second. All right, let's all rest. Don't push anything sharp. Don't push anything that feels really, really unstable for you. All right, we are back to our rear delta back rotation. I know I have to 6 pounds. We'll see. I might have to go back to the 5 pounds per minute. Forward, up. And notice I am not going past my chest level. Okay, so it's really easy to get too high. I'm going to hinge inside that joint. Let's not do that. Back neutral. I need less for my neck. I might alternate. I need it more all the way around. I might double pull. Then rotate. Five more seconds. Rest. Go up right now for the V raise. Up. Same type of rotation. Inside that shoulder, not the wrist, not the elbow. Not myself walking out my knees. It's easy to do when we start to fatigue. It's like this, and that's not good for the body. Start to fatigue a little bit. Are alternating or take a moment? Even I sometimes have to check myself. That's the answer for your video camera. You have to check your hair or your makeup. Perfect form. All right, that is it. Rest. Okay, we are back to our side lunges. We're in clamshell. You're choosing the clamshell on the floor. Let's go. Decide if you can. Stick your butt out. Keep your chest lifting. Easy to get sloppy when we get tired and let things kind of round over. Option to double pulse. Option to add something like a bicep curl. Your choice. Give it what you need, give it what you got. Today is different, so what you had yesterday is not what you have today. Tomorrow. Right. Okay, grab that good sip of water. I'm going to do it. Or I just stay super hydrated, especially hot. General. Water during your workout, before, during, and after, really important. All right, we are back to that shoulder press. You've just been having one lead leg forward and not switching at all. Try the other one. So for me, it always feels better to have my left foot forward, so I'm going to try my right foot and see how it goes. All right, left again, shoulder press, maybe the arms past each other. Okay. Doing this with dumbbells. Both arms are up. Go. Switch. One last really challenging way. One stays up and you do a bunch on one side. Try that with me for a few. And the other one stays up and you do a bunch on that other side. That's really challenging. 5 seconds. Let's finish it out. Alternating. We are back. Bent over, rear deltoid, back of the shoulder. Here we go. Up. And down. Slow. Some of that is so that I get the most out of the exercise. Some of it is so that I can check in and make sure I'm doing a range of motion that's safe for me. If I go too fast, alternate now. I might actually go past the point that's space for my body. Slow and controlled. The tummy in, the knees. And we rest. Show you a quick one more variation for your future if you want to be bench over here. So one side at a time. And we put it by a bench or chair is a better option. And that's usually the case for neck just will not relax. By doing it with the lower back, it's not like that. Do it almost like this. So I just do one side at a time. I do half the time that way, and then half the time with the other arm. Like choose a number of 15. So V raise, mid-part rotation, knees stay soft. I gotta remember that too. And we go. Yeah, double pull. Yeah, double. Maybe I alternate. Do one where you feel it inside the shoulder in a good way. The best in the most, and not in the neck. The shoulder blades squeeze together. That will give you support. All right, we made it through our third round of those. So grab another quick sip of water, and then we'll do one more round of exercises. So if you have a big stability ball, you're going to grab that. We'll use that. If not, this could also be done on floor or standing. So we're going to start, I'll hold this first one, you can't be standing. So you're going to start with some pullovers. So you'll want either a single, on the heavier side, dumbbell, or you can take two of your smaller dumbbells and then press them together. You're going to lay yourself all the way down onto your back here. Grab the top of this dumbbell, put it in one hand, and then the other one goes over it. My core engaged, my hips are not facing down, they're actually tucked under the legs. Look at the head, lever and mouth. Now, no matter what you do, no matter what angle you draw, right on face to each other, this way no matter what. Say no, we're going to turn this into a full pressure for the tricep. Look, chest and shoulders, left, forward, on the floor, you're laying on the floor, or again, laying on the bench, or more powerful. Dumbbells, pressing them together. Done with anything. Liquid, gallon jug, cleaning solution or something around that. Or or something. All right. Okay. This next one, if you have a ball, you'll do it sitting on the ball. If you do not, I recommend you do it standing on one leg. We're working the stability a little bit by sitting on this wiggly ball. If you're standing, I'm going to suggest you stand on one leg. Okay? Balls are tall, fine, core engaged. We're going to do a lateral raise with rotation. Again, a lot of shoulders today, so check in. Chest level, palms face forward, back down, and then back down to the ball. Right now, when you're halfway, if you're standing on one leg, you'll switch your feet. Now, you could also lift back here. It's kind of like rubbing your belly and patting your head. Woo. halfway if you wanted to switch your feet, either on the ball or standing up. Now again, I might do this one side at a time. That's even more like working my belly. See, I'm wiggling around here. Not easy. All right, so if you don't have enough air in your ball, it's going to be really, really wiggly. If you have too much air in your ball, it's not really giving you much of a challenge because you take away that unstable environment. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm sinking in a little bit, but I'm not like halfway into the ball. So you'll find your happy medium somewhere. Not too far, not too soft. Most people don't inflate quite enough, actually. Really, really soft. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use this ball for some core work now. So just lay down on your back. If you're on the floor, you'll do basic crunches. And I'm actually going to include some weight. So you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you have a few options for some weighted crunches. Tuck your chin a bit, and we're reaching towards the ceiling. It would look the same on the floor. You just would be on the floor instead of on the wall. Now, for many of us, my neck looks like this. So I'm going to hold with one hand and support my head with the other hand. Okay, so you could do that, or you could press the weight towards the ceiling. You could also hold it at your chest. That's a little bit less intense. Now, the hardest one is to actually put that weight behind the head, in my opinion. Hold my neck with the dumbbell, and my hands pulling up the outside of the dumbbell. If you start to feel it in your back, move forward. Still do, then you might need to take a little rest, and then start again once you recover. All right, so rest. We're going to do some back extensions now. So we're going to go on the ball if you have the ball. If you do not, then just do the same exact movement on the floor, on your belly. My feet are against the wall if I'm using a ball. Scooch it underneath you so you have somewhere to go. Right? If it's too high, you're going to run right into the ball. If it's too low, you're going to flop forward, go to the ball, and land on your face. So arms can be down. They can be middle, which would be here or here. But they can be forward, which is most challenging. Check in. You're going to do all range of motion, they're up and down. If you're on the ball, if you need a little bit of help from the legs, bend the knees. If you need help, keep the legs straight. On the floor, relax those legs and lift the back of the head towards the ceiling. And more, my hands go where you have to, so behind my head. Feet in, don't need more, arms extend forward. And you should be feeling muscles in your low back working, but no sharp pain, spasming, no pinching. 5 more seconds. We are back to our pullover on the floor this time. What that looks like. Well, come on to the floor. I'll like. And I like to come into a bridge where I'm doing these so my legs get to work also. So you get yourself set up on the ball or on the floor. Drop the ball, your head is on the ball. It's your hip. If you need more, you double pull. If these don't work, bend the elbows and do a skull crusher. You don't really crush and skull. Make sure you're not attempting to do a pullover and accidentally doing a skull crusher. The arms are basically straight on the pullover. When the knee are locked out, they're basically straight. Coming from like the armpit area, not the tricep. Unless you're intentionally doing the tricep exercise. Options are double pull. Again, we do that on the ball. 5 seconds. And rest. All right. Leaving up off the floor. I'm going to go ahead and do the lateral raise. I'm going to do them standing this time. Remember, you can do them sitting on the ball. Still lifting the foot up. Same if you're standing. Maybe you've got one foot off the floor. Shoulder blades squeeze. That's the first thing that happens. Chest level. Arms forward, down, and back here. Up. Down, down. Now, one. And you can be toes like this. 5 seconds. And rest. All right, so we're back to crunches. Again, on the ball. Now, if you're on the ball, just remember your head isn't on the ball anymore. You're more over the ball. Hips are lifted. You're on the floor. Crunches here. Option. Straight up. I'm going to need some support. I hold with one. Behind my head. Supporting the neck with the other hand. Option to bring that to my chest. Option to go behind the head. And then one more option, you can take any of those variations and go side to side, looking your feet side to side. Put the tummy in. Start to feel your back. Check in. What are you doing? Do you need a little less? Do you need a break? Releasing the tummy muscles. Make sure you stay solid in your core. Keep going. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now forward. Sideways. Up. Doing the ball again for back extensions, or actually, I'll show you the floor. So you're either feet against that wall with your ball, or you're coming to the floor and doing your back extensions here. Arms down, practice behind the head or forward. All right, my chin is a little tucked. Again, up and down. Okay, one of those options with the hands, and then you can take alternating sides on these. I'm not cranking my neck at all. I'm barely even looking in the direction where I'm rotating to. Keeping my neck neutral, staying in line with the rest of my torso. My shoulder rotating back. Whichever variation of the arms you've chosen. If that doesn't work, you just keep going straight up and down. Hold the tummy in for some support. 5 seconds. Rest. All right, we have one more round, and then we'll stretch. We'll be done. Back to the pullovers. Come back onto the ball. I like using the ball, but I grab it. Okay, here we go. Pullover option down the pull. Notice I'm not reaching a big way up over my chest where I need to resting. About all I'm coming up. I don't think I need a little break. I'm going to get over here, of course. for this lateral rotation. With the rotation, option to stand on one foot or lift one foot up right here on the ball. Not easy. Give it a try. Go ahead and begin. Remember, you can tippy toe. Also, look, get my tippy toe. Mostly balancing on one leg. I got a little bit of a assist. Much harder without the tippy toe. Squeeze your shoulder blade. Pull the tummy in. These, you have one up. And again, maybe you try some alternating arms at the same time. Actually harder unless I cheat and hold the ball with my other hand, which is not enough. Just a little bit up off. Woo! 5 seconds. Rest. Get one more set of that crunch with the weight. You know your options. Above the chest, out the chest, behind the head. Maybe no weight at all. You know, you can add in some of those alternating weights as well. And again, if your neck is fine, maybe you hold the weight with both hands. For me, my neck doesn't like that, so I support my neck. But you can just stay with whichever one you feel is most effective for you. If you stay, just keep going with that arm up. If that starts to be too much, bring it to the chest. As I mentioned earlier, I kind of find the one behind the head to be the most challenging for me. So I like to do that one. And of course, you can add in those side to side. You can go twist a little bit across the body, or you can lift up and go same side, same elbow to same hip, or like a side bend. Raise that up. Feel all of those different parts of your core muscles. Hold the tummy in. And one more thing, check in. My feet aren't super wide. Not using my legs to help too much. They're about hip width, or narrow would be harder. And yeah, you guessed it, one foot would be even harder. Maybe a tippy toe. It's possible, but it's hard. Maybe a tippy toe. Maybe you switch and do the other tippy toe. Trust me, I feel it more, much more the narrower your feet are. Or maybe you try one leg. Woo, yes, 5 seconds. Rest. All right. One last set of back extensions, and we're done. Your choice, floor or on the wall. And then you might mix it up again, like we did last time. Maybe some straight up and down, maybe some alternating sides to let you know you're halfway if you want to switch. All right, let's begin. Of course, you could double pulse these. Down. Not a big range of motion. I'm going to bend my body in half. Put the tummy in. Lift the back of your head towards the ceiling. Add some variation, some rotation. Do that. You can even double pulse these. Up, up, down, up, down. Too much. Bring the arms back. More. And go out. 5 seconds. You're on the ball. Go ahead and lay over the ball. Stretch that out. If you're on the floor, this is child's pose. So bring your hips back to your heels. Extend your arms out. Breath. Okay, on to our next stretch. your left wrist. Left foot behind. So say that again. Right foot in front of the left. Both arms reach up. Grab your left wrist. Stretching on that left side. Front knee can bend. Try to keep your back leg straight. Falling over. You might come towards the wall. And then I can really grab my wrist. Reach up, catch your right wrist into the left. Let's try doing it against the wall. My left hand will face the wall. We're going to lean both arms into the wall. Right front knee can bend. Try to put back in. On again, grab your foot, touching the front of the thigh. Under, feeling the front of the thigh. Kind of thing that we do in yoga. Back. Of course, the chest and shoulder. So let's find a wall, make a fist with your hand. You're going to put the thumb part of your fist against the wall. And then turn to the left. So my right arm against the wall, right hand against the wall, and turn to the left. You might not go very far. You feel stretching the chest shoulder and into that arm. Same arm, bend the elbow to that 90 degree, forearm on the wall, you'll lean in, and again, a little to the left, shoulder in. Not be in the back, but if it is, you might need to back out, twist, forward, and then maybe not at all. Second side, make a fist. Left hand, bottom part of that fist against the wall. You don't have to turn very much, it depends on your flexibility. You might adjust the arm down or up, depending on you. You'll need something different, maybe. And deep breath. All right. A little forward, and then maybe a little to the right. Side, the wall. All right, we have one more. We definitely want to energize with the side lunges. So maybe you just take this basic butterfly stretch. If you know another variation for stretching your inner thighs, you can do that. The butterfly is one. The butterfly is this one, but the frog is another one that you could do. If you know that one, you could do the frog. Kind of flipped over on your belly, doing a similar position of the leg. And if you had anything that got irritated during this workout, please ice. You always have a little something that gets irritated. Just do it preventatively, even if you didn't feel it. So if you've got a shoulder thing, just go ahead and ice it. back thing or hip thing, just the preventative measure. You see all the professional athletes doing it. It's the safest thing to do after your workout to keep you from becoming inflamed. All right, guys. Great work. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a fantastic day.